Hello, my sweet YouTube friends. It's nice to be here with you again. And part of me wish that I could see you as you can see me here, but that is not happening yet. That may be something in the future. But I want to share with you, I was in a wonderful meditation earlier today and just really feeling the beingness that I am, just a um, it feels very solid. And the more I just am able to hang out there, and it was just kind of easy today. Sometimes the mind and the body, want to get in the way, but it was just like solid. So I just felt like the reality of it, how real this is when we take the time to really focus there and let ourselves be pulled in by it, because that's what it feels more and more like to me, that it's like it wants to pull me in, and I want to follow it in. So it becomes more a relationship, where before, it was me doing it, but it feels that it's more moving into kind of a oneness state where it attracts me in and I attract it to me. It's like a one thing. So it's lovely. And then I could just sense how whatever it is that's out there, I could just feel how unreal that is compared to here. It's just it becomes more and more clear. And then the words came something like, nothing out there is as it appears to be. Nothing out there is as it appears to be. And everything is what it is meant to be. So nothing is as it appears to be, but everything is how it is meant or supposed to be, or I should even say, as it already is. And that is how it is. That sounds a little blurry. But the distinction between how things appear to us out there, and that there's nothing in it really. But when we go in here, then we realize that everything is already what it is meant to be and how it is meant to be. And it's an amazing distinction when you really start feeling it. And the appearances out there, and Joe Goldsmith, he used the word appearance a lot. And for those of you who don't know Joe Goldsmith, he was my teacher, I would say, on the other side, because I never met him, but he had the biggest influence on my life spiritually, back in the mid to late 80s, I think it was. So his teachings and his transmissions and energy is still with me, and I can always kind of pull on it. So I would say how things appear to be, he talks about these are just appearances. They have no substance. And when we go in here, then for me, for sure, I feel that this has substance. And this is what is real. And that's why I often talk about, if it's possible to not touch or not react to the appearances. An appearance is something that just seems to be there. It appears, right? It doesn't have a substance. It may not have a cause. It's an appearance. It's kind of like a thought, which a thought just appears, right? It's not something we go and order on Amazon or something like that. It just appears. And that is what appears out here. Like the thoughts that come in. If we, no, let me say it this way. If we are not standing guard at the door of our consciousness. And this is also something that Joe Goldsmith would say, we have to stand guard at the door of our consciousness. And we decide what we let in and what we don't let in. For most of us, this door is wide open, and anything and everything just comes and fills our mind as appearances. And what we do then is we react to these appearances. We like them, we don't like them, we fight them, we are scared of them, we believe them. And these appearances, they are projected out. There is no out, but it seems out. And then we react to these appearances that we ourselves are entertaining. They are appearances. If we do not feed them and entertain them, they just dissolve, just like any appearance. And the more we can see that, then we can stand guard wherever that guard is. We can stand guard at that door, and we can choose to not engage in it anymore. We can choose to not touch all these suggestions that come in, that we give a life to, that we feed with our attention. And the more we do that, the crazier it gets out there. And it is very crazy right now because most people are feeding all these suggestions and appearances that we are bombarded with. And that's why it seems to really, get a lot right now. It's growing a lot. And for those of us who are able to, I always encourage and invite you to not touch it to the best of your ability. Nobody's perfect at it. You do not need to be perfect at it. It is a practice you can take on. And then the more you do that, the less attention and energy you give to it, then you'll start realizing like nothing that appears here is real. It just appears like it, but there's no reality to it. When I do not engage in it or feed it or touch it or react to it, little by little, you'll notice that there's no substance to it. But when we go here more and more, this is the only thing that is real. And that's why it's a really good idea to spend more time here, which is not running through the mind and project it out as if it's a reality out there. Because again, it's Joel Goldsmith. You cannot project an illusion outside of yourself. You cannot project it out because there's nothing there. It's just an appearance that we have engaged in and said yes to as these suggestions come from wherever. That's another exploration, of course. But these thoughts and appearances and suggestions are not ours. Unless we keep engaging in them, then they seem to be ours. They feel like they're ours, but they're not. You can give it some time and try it out. I think I shared that the other day too. Take an hour, an afternoon, a day where you practice not engaging with all these suggestions. And you might notice that some of them are really alive for you. They give you a lot of, energy, emotional attachment, like, oh, I know, I want to fight this, right? There's a lot of energy in when we want to be right and blame and go into the battle. It gives us a sense of power and aliveness, but it's short-lived because it's not the true power of who we are. The true power is when we drop in here and let that fill us up and spill over. And then you will notice that this power is a very different power than all the appearances. And little by little, this inner power, which is light, it's a higher frequency, and it does touch the outer appearances, which hold no power. It holds only the power that we individually and collectively give it. So the more of us individually pull out of that, then the collective will also get less, right? And then those appearances will eventually start dissolving. That is what we can do, and I would certainly recommend that we all do it if you want to create and make yourself available for a new earth. It's beautiful, but really realizing that nothing out there that appears as real is real. It's not. But in here, this is the only thing that is real. And that's why it's very beautiful and powerful to spend more time in the stillness, in your own presence, as the stillness, as your I am presence. And, doing it with others, I find that the energy kind of gets stronger, right? When two or more are gathered in my name, there I am. So when there's two or more really resting and abiding in our own I am presence, which is the same. It's not like my I am presence is different from yours. It is the appearance of Pernilla that seems different from the appearance of another I am presence. But that is the veil, right, that we have identified with. So the more of us do together, we just tune in to the field of oneness, to the field of I am, which is not separate. And the more of us do that together or individually, but together is nice, there's just a bigger boost that we do collectively. And then the boost can go out just more and with more energy behind it, and hopefully impact more people. So, of course, my invitation is always to spend more time here and eventually start fully disengaging from out there, except from what the inner inspires or guides us to do. That's what we do. But we do not listen to all the suggestions that come in and look like an appearance that we need to engage in and fight out there. If you want to go out there and do things, please do it. Absolutely. But make sure you're doing it from here, not from here. It's going to make a huge difference. So I hope that is a little helpful to keep dropping back in and connecting with your true self and making yourself available for that, for the world, for all of us. We all do it together. Thank you. Have a great day.